buttholes so you can be on the intro like Malcolm? Like Malcolm always talks about fisting buttholes or...
I mean, I did fist Malcolm's chocolate starfish this week, so...
Opening your mouth and taking a big swipe with your tongue from crack to gooch. What's up? Welcome to another episode of the League Fantasy Football Podcast. Got some sad news, maybe some exciting news for some of y'all who don't like listening to Malcolm's voice. But this week, I don't know if it was from depression of him losing in week 7, if it was from Tom Brady just still boo-fooing on the rest of the league, but Malcolm had some stuff going on, so he's not going to be able to make this week's podcast. So we got a special guest who has already appeared in the episode. We got Brandon back on the podcast this week.
Yes, sir. Back at it.
So it'll be me and him breaking down week 7, going over a little bit of the week 8 preview and the power rankings and standings and stuff like that. So it's exciting. It's going to be fun. I do have some exciting news to tell y'all at the end of the episode. It's something we did last year, and we're going to bring it back this year. Brandon doesn't even know I'm bringing it up, but I'll let y'all know at the end of the episode what that news is. But before we go any further into our recap of Week 7, let's go ahead and knock out the top score. And he's here with us today, so he's just going to do it live. Suck my fickin' dick. Had 172. That was the high score in week 7. So let's hear it.
Yes, sir. Played Malcolm. It's Malcolm. Started to get a little nervous. Burrow was doing his thing, popping off. And then the fourth quarter, I believe for at least 3 people, Kareem Hunt scored, Jamal scored, Calvin Ridley got a 2-point conversion. So that sealed the deal. So really all I had to worry about was my quarterback, and he absolutely dominated his opponent. That's pretty much all I got, because, you know.
Yeah, okay. So, with that being said, that was a pretty dominating performance by Brandon. Sorry, Malcolm, your team actually did good, put up 139, but when you play the high score, like I did last week, it just doesn't work out.
I played the highest score as well. It sucks.
Yeah, it does suck when your team does good and then the other team just dominates you because they're the high score. But let's move in to the Week 7 recap. First game on the slate, me, the KY Jellies, took down Don's team 112-101. This game, it was weird because Sunday night, I felt like I really had this game in control. I had DK, and all he had was like Russell Wilson, and I had like a 30 or 40 point lead on Don, so I was like, okay, I got this wrapped up. DK, I mean, he should have got 10 points for the chase down. That was awesome. But he only ended up getting, it was crazy. He only ended up getting 4 fantasy points, and Russell Wilson through the first half had like 21 or 22 fantasy points, so I really started to get nervous. And then Russell Wilson had a few untimely interceptions that cost Don, and I don't know.
Also, his running backs only scored a total of 1.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna bring it up because I posted the milk carton picture, but we could have posted the milk carton picture for Don for Devontae and James White. I mean, 1 point out of your RB1 and RB2. That's a tough week. Aaron Jones was hurt. I get it, but I don't know. We'll have to see where Don's team goes from there. My team, I mean, a little underperforming. I'm not gonna lie. 112. I was a little disappointed with that. Had bad performances by Zeke, DK, Kelsey, but I don't know. Came through with the dub, so I ain't complaining too much about it.
A dub's a dub, baby.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, we had Tucker's Diddy getting beat down, like freaking stomped on and demolished by Kevin, 151-64. that might be the lowest score of the year so far. Do you remember, Brandon?
That's close. I know there's been a couple 60s.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's up there with one of the lowest scores. I mean, Cam Newton, -2 points. You know how Taylor feels about that because we're recording this Wednesday, waiver day, and Taylor dropped Cam Newton for Derek Carr. So he was not happy with Cam Newton. He had a Kirk Cousin-like performance. And then his RB1 and RB2 got him 8 points. Le'Veon Bell, 3. Josh Jacobs, 5. Terry McLaurin, Julio, they popped off, but that's really all that Taylor had. Everybody else was single digits. Kevin, I mean, his team just went off. Watson, 23. Gurley, 21. Hopkins, 24. A.J. Brown, 27. He only had one person, the kicker, under double digits.
It's a good week.
That is a good week. But I'm not wishing him luck next week, but we'll talk about that later. And then in, like, the toilet bowl, we had Charlie losing to Joey 74-83. I mean, 2 low-scoring teams, and this one was just, I guess it came down to the Carson injury, and I don't know.
This game also, Charlie was supposed to beat Joey based on projections coming into, what was it, Monday night?
Yeah.
And, didn't work out so well.
Yeah, Carson ended up getting hurt. I mean, Joey had good performances by his Washington defense, TJ Hawkinson, and like Derrick Henry, but Odell left with the ACL tear, so Joey got hoed again. I don't know, but he won. He knocked off the champ last week, and he's on a 2-week winning streak, so maybe he's just going up now. He's not going to lose again.
Turn the ship around.
All right, and then I'll let you handle this game if you want to go over some of the players and the score.
You talking about my game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Devontae Adams just absolutely destroyed his competition. He also
second time this year getting over 40 points.
He also really didn't do anything in the third quarter as well. And like I said earlier, Kareem Hunt, he's been averaging between like 15 and 20 points, does his thing. Ridley, shout out, has the most air yards this season. Honestly, the person I'm most disappointed in is Ingram right now. He's kind of at like between the 8 and 12 point range, kind of trash. Then you got Joe Burrow just going through a manslaughter over there.
God, he looks good, but he gets hit a lot.
He does, but he's dishing it. Kenyon Drake got hurt. That sucks for Malcolm.
Yeah,
Other than that, I mean, his team did decent.
Yeah, Malcolm's team did good, and he had Drake only give him 4. Like, if he wouldn't have beat Brandon, but if he would have put Chase Edmonds in instead of Drake, I mean, he would have had like the second highest score. That would have been crazy. He's probably tilted right now, if we're being honest.
100%.
We're probably back to the dark, depressed Malcolm.
He's gonna be wearing all black next time you see him.
Alright, our next game we had Eli's dumb effing face taking down Micah and the orangutan titties 152-129. Like, Kyler Murray, this has got to be like one of the stills of the year so far. 36 points. Alvin Kamara, he's like last year's Christian McCaffrey, 22 points. DJ Moore, 25. Tyler Boyd, 27. Like, that's a good performance from Thomas, 152. If you get 152, you should win every week.
Yeah, you should definitely be happy.
Some positives from orangutan titties. Tom Brady, 36. So I know Malcolm hates it, but Tom Brady continues to do good. I can talk about Tom Brady all I want this episode and not hear anything about it.
Facts.
But, I mean, Galladay, 17. 49ers D, 16. That's average performance. 129.
The handcuff of Mixon, 19.
Yeah. Giovanni had 19, so that was a good pickup. But it wasn't enough against Thomas. And another beatdown, we had Show Me Your TDs losing to Bico 151-83. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, when he gets you 12 points and he was your first round pick, I mean, you're going to lose. When you got Frank Gore in your lineup, Hunter Renfrow in your lineup, no disrespect, but Patriots defense giving you -1, you're going to lose. Bico, he rebounded. He had Josh Allen 16, James the Freak Robinson 30. That might be his new nickname, James the Freak Robinson. I'm sort of wishing I didn't trade him now. But let's talk about this man in Bico's wide receiver 1 slot, Tyler Lockett. Holy crap.
Highest scorer.
Like 53 fantasy points? Like, geez. By one player? Come on. And then, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's a third of his points just off one player.
Yeah, really. And then Bico gets Christian McCaffrey back this week or next week. So things could really be looking up for Bico here.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to add about week 7 and the recap?
No, I mean, I was a little nervous in the first half, but we got him in the second half, so I'm good. Chilling. Nice.
All right, let's go to our standings now. So in the North, you still have me over Thomas, but we're both 6-1. I think the points for is very slim. And then you have Taylor at 3-4, Charlie at 3-4. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Maybe Taylor's the better team. He's the third spot, and then you got.
It's close. No, Charlie did lose no offense, Joey, but he did lose an auto drafted team, Joey.
Hey, there's no shame in that, Charlie. Don't let him bring you down, brother.
And Charlie did beat me, so I really can't talk too much.
Yeah. Then you got Malcolm at 2-5, and Show Me Your TDs, the worst record now, 1-6. And then going to the South, Sug My Fickin' Dick, you're at 5-2. You have a pretty significant lead over Kevin for the number 2 spot in terms of points for. He's at 5-2 also. Then you got 3 teams at 3-4, Don, Bico, and Micah. And I feel like maybe Bico and Don, even though they've had some like rough luck, they're on the come up, where Micah, he's lost, 2 or 3 in a row now?
Something like that, yeah. It's a rough streak for him.
So he's on the dive, and then you got Joey, he's like on the comeback, so this week maybe Joey can jump Micah and move out of last place in the South.
As long as I stay first. They do behind me.
Alright, and then we'll go into the points for standings. We got Brandon taking back over the lead with 964. I'm at 951. Thomas, the last person in the 900s, at 937. And then the lowest, I mean, it's sort of reflective on the standings that I just gave, but Show Me Your TDs is at the lowest at 678. Joey, 685. And then you go into the 700s with Charlie at 711. And then finally, let's go to the points against. Malcolm, I'm sure if he was here, he would be saying this is BS. I always have the highest points against. I'm always playing one of the best teams in the league. He's at 916. Micah's at 906, so maybe that's part of Micah's downfall is he's playing all these high-scoring teams.
Catching the pop-off weeks.
Yeah, sort of tough luck. But they're the only 2 in the 900s, and then the least amount of points against is actually Eli's dumb effing face at 700, so right at the 600, 700 mark. And then you got Charlie, Kevin, Brandon, and then me. So, I don't know, that's the standings after week 7. There'll probably be a bunch of changes because we have a bunch of teams with the same record. And we'll go into the week 8 preview. Now, this week, I'm sort of excited about because we have some interesting matchups.
Spicy.
Yeah, like, literally these matchups could be like impacting playoff
Bye
like scenarios, bye weeks, seedings. So first game of week 8 that we're going to go over, we got myself 6-1, first in the North versus Kevin 5-2, second in the South. So this is like a top 5 primetime ABC game right here. That's going to be interesting because the winner's going to get a huge boost. The loser's going to take one on the chin, get knocked back a little bit. And then moving on to the next game, 3-4 and 3-4, we got Don versus Charlie. Like, both these teams at 3-4, they both need a win here to make something happen.
Also, Don is sitting right on the cusp of being in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's
record stand. So
yeah, he's so close, and Aaron Jones may or may not play, so we'll have to see how that shakes out. And then next game we got 2-5 versus 2-5. That's interesting. We got Malcolm versus Joey. Now, how awesome would it be for Malcolm to come back next week with an L to Joey? That would be freaking awesome.
Then he's really coming. His nails might be painted black after that.
Oh my gosh. So that game, the loser's gonna have like a tough road to make the playoffs. Like, they might have to win every game, the loser of that game. The next game, just like mine and Kevin's, we got 6-1 Thomas versus 5-2 Brandon. So we got another first in the South versus second in the North matchup here. So this game could have a lot of playoff ramifications, because if you win, you're going to be sitting pretty, and it's also going to help me out, not saying. But right now you're projected 6 total points.
Yeah, I mean, something crazy's going on, I guess.
I guess there's a bug in the system. Thomas is freaking hardwiring your phone and your computer.
He's hacking.
He is hacking. He's benching all your players. Next matchup, we got Orangutan Titties at 3-4 versus Kyle Worley at 1-6. Dude, I'm going with it. I don't even care. This is the week Kyle Worley's gonna upset Orangutan Titties, and he's gonna get his second win, and Orangutan Titties is gonna fall below Joey to go last in the South. I'm calling it. Hot take.
If Miles Sanders is out and he's got Scott right there chilling, and Mahomes has back to his normal games, he might be.
Yeah, but Micah does have Joe Mixon coming back, and he made some waiver wire moves, so maybe that'll help him. And then another game that's going to be like key in the playoffs, we got Biko at 3-4 and Taylor at 3-4. So the winner of this game is probably like going to be in that final playoff spot or 5th playoff spot. The loser, he's going to have to have some work to come back.
He might be a Tulip Bowl champion.
All right, and then that'll do it for the Week 8 preview. Let's get into the power rankings here. So we're going to start off with our last 3. We got Kyle Worley, obviously has the worst record in the league. He's number 12. Joey is coming up. He's number 11. He's like so close to getting out of this last 3. Micah, number 10. So at number 9, we got Malcolm. Number 8, we got Biko. Number 7, we got Charlie. So Biko can make a jump here if he wins, as could Charlie. Moving on to the next 3. Not a lot's changed here. We got Don, number 6. Taylor at number 5. So if those teams win, they could be sitting pretty. I'm at number 4. Our top 3 didn't change from last week. We got Brandon, number 3. Kevin's on the winning streak, number 2. And really, this is like your story all year. You and Kevin could really be like 2A and 2B, or you could be 2, he could be 3. It's pretty close.
That's back and forth a lot.
You do have the points for lead. And then number 1, we got Thomas. He's staying where he's at.
Which he is on a 6-game winning streak, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good point. Week 1, I beat Thomas, and then from then on, he's just went on a tear, ripping the buttholes off all y'all's teams. I mean, I know this one's going to be pretty short because we don't have Malcolm to fill in all the gaps like he usually does. He's usually good for like 20, 30 minutes of jibber jabber.
More like 20, 30 minutes of complaining, but about how bad his team is.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's not out of it. Nobody's out of it, really.
No, nobody's out yet.
Maybe Worley, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But, I mean, if he goes on a run, wins 6 in a row, he's not out of it.
7-6. I'd be close, but you can make it, especially since we bumped it up to 6 teams for the playoffs. So.
Yeah, I think the 6 playoff teams is a good thing. Like 4, I don't know, for a 12-team league, that seemed a little harsh.
Yeah.
Maybe I could understand the gripe of the 5th and 6th place teams if only 4 teams made the playoffs, but this year, like the top, like half the league makes the playoffs. So if you're the number 7 team at the end of the year, we don't need to hear no whining about how you should be in the playoffs because half the league makes it.
Facts.
And then half the league also makes the Waffle House Bowl bracket.
It's gonna be a tough one.
That is gonna be tough.
Hopefully I'm securing my way out of it.
I'll pray for whoever's there.
Well, yeah, for whoever's there.
Yeah, I know. We gotta get this on video. That's gonna pretty much do it for our Week 7 recap and our Week 8 preview. You have anything you wanna say before I share the news I hyped up in the beginning?
I'm gonna pull Malcolm 2 weeks ago and just say good luck to everybody.
Oh, so you're running on the I'm gonna be nice and hope karma comes back and.
I mean, I'm 5-2. You know, I'm chilling.
Okay. I mean, I'm playing Kevin. Kevin has a good team, so
I'm playing the number 1 team. So
yeah, number 1 versus number 3 matchup. I wish Kevin all the luck in the world. I mean, I hope my team wins. We'll see what happens. I think my team's better. He probably thinks his team's better. So we'll find out this week. But I do hope you beat Thomas. I mean, no offense to Thomas, but I need him to lose a game. Jeez.
I hope you beat Kevin then.
Yeah.
Helps both of us out. Ironic.
But, yeah, the exciting news that I hyped up earlier was, I don't know if y'all remember, Charlie's not going to remember, but last year, during the final 2 or 3 weeks, I had this, like, playoff predictor software where you could plug in the matchups and the win-loss for everybody in the league and could see what you needed to make the playoffs. So that'll be returning this year. We're going to incorporate that in the podcast. So maybe with 2 or 3 weeks left in the year, me and Malcolm will start breaking those down. So we'll give an in-depth preview of what y'all will need to happen for your teams to make the playoffs. I don't know. That's always fun to me to play around with.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, I mean, you don't have any like closing comments to make about buttholes, so you can be on the intro like Malcolm. Like Malcolm always talks about fisting buttholes or.
I mean, I did fist Malcolm's chocolate starfish this week, so.
I mean, you did, yeah.
And
but,
if Devontae plays again, it might happen to Thomas as well. You never know.
But like the question that got brought up last episode that everybody sent in to Aaron, I mean, you beat the Jets. I mean, like, come on now. You want a cookie for beating the Jets?
You lost to the Jets.
I did not lose to the Jets.
You lost to Joey.
Hey, that's like, that's not the Jets. That's probably like, the old Miami teams.
Yeah. And also, one of my L's, somebody scored 200 plus. Ain't nobody broke that yet, so.
Yeah, shout out to Don. The only team to break 200 so far, I think, this year.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's broke like 180, 190. So, he had like 211, 210.
Jesus.
Crazy.
That's a hell of a week.
Unfortunately.
But, yeah, if you're not going to talk about spreading cheeks and opening your mouth and taking a big swipe with your tongue from crack to gooch, I guess we will close this episode out. Malcolm will be back next week. Don't y'all worry. He's the heartbeat of the podcast. He will be back next week to annoy y'all and for y'all to make fun of. But appreciate Brandon stepping in, coming on.
Said like 10 words the whole game, but whole podcast. Shout out.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man, filling in. And that'll do it for Week 7 recap. We will see y'all next week. Have a good one. Good luck.
And fuck y'all.
And what he said.